Now available in paperback and e-readers, Spinsterella Goth Girl Summer. Take a trip into the macabre world of goth modeling in the new millennium in this spooktacular Spinsterella story. Pick up your copy of Spinsterella Goth Girl Summer in paperback and e-readers at Amazon.com and online booksellers everywhere. Better get the coleslaw, y'all, cause we're having us a barbecue. I got a comment on the second video that I made about the statue of the obese black woman that's presented in Times Square that made me shake my head. Now, this viewer basically wanted to take a swipe at my brand new book, Spinsterella Goth Girl Summer, and they wanted to go out here and mock me for writing this book, which presents you an image of a soft, feminine black woman on a trip in Los Angeles as she's exploring the world of goth modeling and going out here and having a career in fashion. Now, what was really sad to me is that this black woman who made that swiping comment regarding Spinsterella Goth Girl Summer couldn't see that I was out here presenting a positive picture of black womanhood on the cover of my book, and was also telling a story about a soft, feminine black woman. That's what I was trying to do with Spinsterella Goth Girl Summer, and sadly what I saw here with this black woman is she basically bought into the ideals that white supremacy has been presenting regarding the image of black women, in believing that being masculinized and miserable is the standard for black women to be. And what was really sad here is she was basically proving a point that I had made in the first Matilda story, Spellbound, about black women looking to fit themselves into the black box that's acceptable to white people, and wanted to take a swipe at me basically because, one, I was a heterosexual black man presenting my ideal for black women on the cover of my book, and also wanted to go out here and fit herself into this black box that's acceptable to white people. Again, wanting to fit herself into that box as the standard and the ideal for black women. And it really saddened me because it showed me how deep the influence of white supremacy is on the black female mind. Now, in one of my books I published last year, Isis Dark Incubus, I started to explore the influence of white supremacy on the black female mind with the start of the third story arc of the Isis series with the book Dark Incubus. And when I heard this woman's comment taking a swipe at Spinsterella Goth Girl Summer, it showed me how deep the influence, is on black women's minds as related to white supremacy. And many are so spellbound as related to looking to fit themselves into this black box that's acceptable to white people, that they've basically started to buy into the programming that basically started 25 years ago with looking to destroy the black female image. And that basically was started even 25 years ago as related to things with the mainstreaming of the degradation of the black female image when Halle Berry won the Oscar for Monsters Ball. And when she won the Oscar for Monsters Ball, this basically mainstreamed the degradation of the black female image and led to an entire generation of black women buying into the idea that they had to be in a place where they needed not to be slim and attractive, but needed to go out here and be in a place where they were looking masculine and looking aggressive, because that's what white supremacy wants to see. That's what white supremacy wanted to elevate as their ideal for the black female image, because what they wanted to do was go out here and make the black woman appear to be less attractive in comparison to the white woman. And that's what the white media has been doing for over 400 years. They've started doing this all throughout slavery, where they created caricatures of black women, such as the Mammy, which was an obese, unattractive, asexualized black woman that was designed to make it where black women would have a model to follow as related to fitting into white society and being accepted at the highest levels of white society. Then there was the Jezebel, which was a sexually promiscuous black woman, designed as related to, again, looking to hypersexualize the black woman. And these narratives were put into media, but were countered by black men like John H. Johnson. John H. Johnson basically countered a lot of those narratives by showing us images of beautiful, slim, attractive black women who were wives, black women who were mothers, and many other black people went out here and looked to try to shatter that narrative as related to presenting ourselves with the whole image of the black dandy. The black dandy was all about black men and women looking to push back against racist narratives. Unfortunately, what's happened over the last, I say 25 to 30 years, is sadly we've gotten generations of black girls and black women who have bought into the programming of white supremacy as related to their image of black women. Now, this basically started back in the late 90s with the gangster rap and people like Little Kim and Foxy Brown, white manufactured images of black women, and basically again got legitimized when Halle Berry, the A-list black actress, wound up on in Monsters Ball winning that Oscar. And ever since then, it's been a race to the bottom where black women no longer want to be seen as an ideal of being a desirable black woman or being seen as an attractive black woman, but want to fit themselves into the stereotype that was presented in that statue in Times Square, was presented as related to the white racist ideal of black women. And again, these were white leftists who were doing this. These are the people who are supposed to be tolerant and accepting. And their idea is to have the black woman in Times Square represented as a masculine image of a black woman, an obese masculine image. I mean, if you look at the shoes that this woman is wearing, she's wearing a man's pair of shoes as related to this image, and they want to present that as the standard for black women. And sadly, what's happening is that many black women are so spellbound, they're buying into that standard for black beauty, and it just makes me shake my head that when somebody like myself goes out here and publishes a book that shows you a feminine black woman, it's the black women who reject that image of femininity, reject that image of softness, reject the image as the ideal of black beauty. That's what makes me shake my head, because it shows me how deep the programming is in the black female mind as related to the influence of white supremacy, that you would reject an image and a story that shows you as being soft, as you being feminine, as you being beautiful. I mean, that really shows how deep the self-hatred is, that you would identify deeper with an image that disrespects you rather than one that elevates you. That's what really makes me shake my head. I mean, here I am, again, a heterosexual black man, presenting you an image of black beauty, an image that shows you, again, black beauty and black elegance that fits right in line with the whole narrative we produced as related to the black dandies. Again, the whole black dandy was us defining ourselves, and sadly, the people of this generation or onward basically reject that ideal. That's what really makes me shake my head and shows me again how deep the influence is as related to white supremacy on the black female mind. I mean, I talk about this in Dark Incubus in depth. I mean, white supremacy has a deep influence on the black female mind, that you don't see yourself as soft, you don't see yourself as feminine, you don't see yourself as attractive or desirable on the level of the white woman. No, many black women basically want to settle for that last place position. I won't even say second best position, because the Hispanic woman doesn't accept this, the Asian woman doesn't accept this, the Arab woman doesn't accept this. No, they take advantage of that low self-esteem many black women have and look to climb that social ladder and elevate and take advantage of the opportunity and the void left by black women not taking her place in society, and take advantage of it by taking advantage of it to the point where they get involved with the best and brightest black men, because the black woman has bought into this programming that has taught her that she's not attractive or desirable whatsoever, and she has to settle for being this obese black woman, has to settle for being obese and miserable. And that's the other part of the issue that this woman had with Spinsterella Goth Girl Summer. Here's a book that basically presents you an image of a black woman, a black woman enjoying her life and living an abundant life like God wants us to live. I mean, here's a story of a happy black woman, something I don't get to see in mainstream media, and that's why I wrote this book, is because I wanted to write a story that showed you a happy black woman, a black woman who's at peace with herself, a woman who is basically, again, pursuing her dreams. I mean, what's sad about the media over the last 20 years, ever since Lee Daniels came out with Monsters Ball and Maya Brock-Akil came out with shows like Girlfriends and The Game, and Tyler Perry came out with all of his movies, is we've got this miserable black woman narrative that has been built up since Terry McMillan's Waiting to Exhale, and all we get are stories about miserable black women who basically hate their lives and have a negative perception of the world. That's what we're getting from many of these mainstream media, and sadly many black women have bought into this programming to the point where they don't even see them anything being to be happy about. I mean, I really am saddened by that, because I watch as white actresses like Cameron Diaz and Julia Roberts go out here and became box office queens playing in romantic comedies. But when I go out here and put fingers to the keyboard to write soft, feminine black women that are out here having similar stories to those white women, but are enveloped in our black culture, it's the black women who reject those stories of a black woman finding love with a black man. It's black women who reject those stories as related to them being soft and feminine. It's black women who reject the idea of being beautiful and attractive and being desired by a black man. Here's a black male writer writing about black on black love, and it saddens me that it's black women who are the ones who have the issue, and they're supposed to be the core audience for books like Spinsterella, Goth Girl Summer, and books like Isis, Dark Incubus. Again, books that are designed to write stories that give you a lighter picture of black life. Again, a lighter picture of black life. But many black women don't want to read Spinsterella, Goth Girl Summer. No, what they would rather do is head over to Netflix and watch Tyler Perry's Straw and watch a miserable black woman sitting up here being a hapless perpetual victim of life, instead of going out here and making choices that improve her quality of life and take ownership of her life. They don't want to read stories like this, like a Spinsterella, Goth Girl Summer, or an Isis, Dark Incubus, that show you a black woman basically taking control of her life and understanding that, again, you don't have to be miserable in the company of racists or being miserable and downtrodden in a position that white supremacy puts you in. No, you can find peace in life. You can find peace in life and find your own happiness, but you have to go out here and walk away from this whole toxic narrative. But many of these spellbound black women don't want to do that at all. No, they don't want to do that at all. No, they'd rather be miserable in white society, hoping that a covert contract can be fulfilled, that if they stay miserable, some white person will come out here and save them. And that's where I just feel sorry for black women like that. I feel real sorry for those black women. You are sitting up here being miserable in order to be accepted by white society and missing out on the abundant life that Christ wants to give you. I mean, God wants to give you this abundant life and wants you to be blessed to enjoy an abundant life. But many black women don't want to live that abundant life whatsoever. No, they'll go to church and sate their feelings, but don't want to follow God whatsoever. No, they don't want that peace that they could have, because they're looking for a white person to give them any sort of validation or approval. And that's what really saddens me about that woman's comment on Spinsterella, Goth Girl Summer. You couldn't see that, again, a black man is trying to give you something where you can see an image of yourself being loved, an image of yourself being cared about, an image of yourself where people that look like you are having fun and being able to have a good time. I mean, I find it sad that black women don't want to see themselves out here enjoying life. They just want to sit here in a perpetual state of misery, want to sit here in a perpetual state of misery as related to things. and sit up here reading stories about abuse. I mean, this is what Tyler Perry, Lee Daniels, Oprah Winfrey, and Curtis 50 Cent Jackson Esquire, and Ice Cube, and many others want you to see. An endless stream of stories that show you as having to live the worst in life. An endless stream of stories that show you as a hapless victim of the abuse of people, especially big, brutish black men. That's what they want you to see about yourself. And the minute a black man tries to show you a softer image that actually represents black beauty, you can't handle that image. When a black man goes out here and shows you a balanced image of yourself, again, as related to these type of images, this is one of the reasons why I make these type of stories. Again, can't handle that type of story. And again, I'm trying to target the black woman as a customer, but the black woman, again, sadly, a lot of them are so deep with self-hatred, and it makes me shake my head. Again, here's someone who's giving you a story that's showing you that you, as a black woman, again, are beautiful, are attractive, but you more identify with an anti-black statement as related to that statue in Times Square, a statue that was designed not to elevate the black female image, but make mockery of the black female image, make mockery of the black female image in saying, oh, the black woman is equal to a man and is being compared to men, when in actuality, if you compared a white woman to a man, like one of these Karens or one of these other women, it would be seen as the insult it actually is. But because the black woman has deep low self-esteem, she basically thinks any sort of insult is a compliment and would rather be validated by a statue that mocks her rather than an image of black women that elevates her, and a story that basically would tell her that, you are desired, you are loved, and you are deserving better, because that's what was all through Dark Incubus and the story, especially Goth Girl Summer. In Matilda's story, she basically sees her worth and value as a black woman and does not settle for less. No, she does not settle for less throughout this story, and that's something that many black women need to learn, not to settle for less as related to things. And again, you want what a lot of sad is many of these black women, again, don't want the Goth Girl Summer or their own summer. No, they'd rather have Hot Girl Summer, where they're basically showing themselves being played by players and being abused and being mistreated. No, they can't stand a story that shows, again, black women being treated with respect, treated with dignity, and a black woman having a sense of value about herself. They can't handle that type of story. They can't process that kind of story because they have basically been imbibing a false reality that has been set up by white supremacy as related to their image. That's what stories by people like Oprah Winfrey, Lee Daniels, Tyler Perry, Ice Cube, and many others like Curtis 50 Cent Jackson Esquire, they want to show you, oh, the black woman is a hood rat, the black woman is a ghetto chick. She basically doesn't deserve a better life. She doesn't deserve to enjoy life. She doesn't deserve to have any sort of peace. She doesn't deserve to be happy. And sadly, many black women have bought into that narrative and bought into it lock, stock, and barrel, believing I don't deserve to be happy, I don't deserve to be loved. And it's really sad because, again, God gave us life and he wants us to live an abundant life and wants us to be able to prosper. But sadly, many black women, again, don't really love themselves enough to say that I deserve better and I deserve to be in a place where I can have happiness. If these white girls, they're allowed to be happy, why can't I be happy? They never ask themselves that critical question. Why can't I be happy? Why can't I be able to get with the guy of my dreams? Why can't I be able to have my dream job? Why can't I be able to enjoy life? I mean, white supremacy has this black woman today beaten down worse than they were in the 80s. I remember in the 80s growing up and seeing black women, again, enjoying life, and again, enjoying life because they understood okay, I got one life to live. I want to make it the very best. But sadly, what's happened is that over the course of the late 80s and the early 90s, kids have grown up imbibing this media that teaches them, oh, I can't be happy. And that's what they do with us as related to their literary canon. Their literary canon by writers like Richard Wright and Terry McMillan is always about miserable black women. Misery, 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 because they don't want black people to have any sort of hope or any sort of dream. And it's really sad as related to black women that you sit up here, you imbibe all this stuff like Oprah's Women of Brewster Place. Again, a miserable miniseries based on a miserable book by a writer, I forget her name, but the whole thing is everything is misery as related to the American narrative. And the way I push back is by writing stuff that says, you don't have to be miserable. No, you don't have to be miserable at all and be a part of the sisterhood of failure. No, you can be a part of the sisterhood of success and reading books that elevate you and uplift you and make you see yourself again with a new direction as related to things. I mean, that's what I do over here at SJS Direct, and I found it sad that this viewer dismissed my work, but I know it's just par for the course with a lot of black women because the white supremacist programming of self-hatred is so deep. I mean, the white supremacist self-hatred is so deep inside of these women's minds, and it keeps us from seeing black women as they actually are. And that's something, again, I'm exploring in another ISIS series book I'm currently writing right now, and that's called Runway of Doom. Now, in Runway of Doom, we're dealing with ISIS as related to her fears of being feminine and being beautiful, because she's a tomboy, but she sees how deep this is and how damaging it is to people as related to things, as related to our black women's perception of self. And I see the damage that's done when you sit there and embrace a statue that disrespects you and wants to mock something that was, again, meant to elevate you because it comes from a black man who was out here looking to elevate you and make black women beautiful. Again, I explore this also in another ISIS series book, ISIS, the Beauty Myth, and it's just really sad to me that many black women don't see themselves as beautiful these days. I mean, I grew up in a time of great black female models like Veronica Webb and Tyra Banks and I think her name was Iman, and many others out here like Grace Jones. Great black beauties, women who were beautiful and weren't afraid to be beautiful. And basically, it just saddens me that we have black women who are embracing misery created by white supremacy, instead of learning how to love themselves and see themselves as the beautiful black women that many of us black men see them as. And if you want to read a story that basically will put a smile on your face and elevates black female beauty, you can pick up my book, Spinsterella Goth Girl Summer, on Amazon.com. And this book is a great beach read, and it's a great summer read, and it's a story that shows a black woman again who's a part of the goth scene entering the world of goth modeling in the year 2000 and being the beautiful woman that she is and having the self-esteem and self-worth to see her own value as a woman and stand up for herself and be the woman who will take power over herself and take power over her own image. And that's what I present here in Spinsterella Goth Girl Summer and it's available on Amazon.com right now in paperback. Now, this is a huge book at over 600 pages, and in those 600 pages, I understand the influence of image, and that's why I put images in the book, because it was supposed to be a light novel, but the light novel was supposed to go out here and show you images of black women being beautiful. That's something I'm trying to do all the time with books like I do in the ISIS series. I try to do it with other books, but I wanted to do it with this book because we don't get to see images of beautiful black women in mainstream media anymore, and we don't get to see images of black women being elevated anymore, and that's why I try to go out here and elevate the image of black women. I also feature it in my book, ISIS Dark Incubus, and in these books I have been trying to go out here and put up pinups, again, like this one by Antonio Balderi. Again, I want to elevate the image of black women and get people to see, oh, black women are beautiful, black women are attractive and desirable. And in every book that I've been doing these days, I've been trying to put in more images. And I go out here and again, I put these books out here so black girls can see, yes, you can be slim and attractive and beautiful just like the other women of the world, and you can be elevated to an ideal of beauty that black men want you to be. And again, you can get up Dark Incubus on Amazon.com, along with Spinsterella Goth Girl Summer, and many of my other books that feature heroines, such as books in the Spinsterella series, books in the Isis series, books in the Esteem series, books like my vampire novel Eternal Night, and books like my black sorority novel The Thetas and my black business novel Recipe for Success. And you can find all those books in paperback and Kindle format on Amazon.com. You can also find them at other online booksellers like Draft Digital, Google Play, Barnes & Noble, and big box retailers like Walmart and Target. And if you'd like to help me continue to put art in the interiors of my books, or help me to continue paying artists for the covers of my books that are designed to elevate sisters, you can drop a donation to the Patreon, the PayPal, or the Cash App by clicking the links in the description box. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe. Now available in paperback and e-readers, John Haynes, A Thorn in My Side. The man who rules the world takes on an agent from the CIA from the Black Way in this all-new John Haynes series adventure. Get your copy of John Haynes' A Thorn in My Side in paperback and e-readers at online booksellers everywhere. Now available in paperback and e-readers, Esteem Season of the Witch Girl. The aspiring angel takes on a wicked teenage witch in this action-packed, all-new Esteem series adventure. Pick up your copy of Esteem Season of the Witch Girl in paperback and e-readers at online booksellers today. Support Black-owned and Black-operated digital broadcast media. www.niceradionetwork.com. Nice Radio Network, broadcasting 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.